Hi, I'm Nelson Davis, and here today to talk about managing through business cycles is Barry Moltz, small business consultant. Barry's a speaker and author of Bounce, Resiliency, Failure, and the Confidence for Your Next Great Business Success. From Chicago, Illinois, Barry, nice to have you here today.
Thanks for having me here, Nelson.
Now, proactively managing business cycles can help companies find a competitive edge under any economic conditions, I believe. So let's talk about where small businesses stand today.
Well, you know, Nelson, there's economic carnage all around. There's carnage for small businesses, for large businesses. No one's really immune. There are some industries that are especially hit hard, like the real estate industry. So you would expect construction workers to be having a hard time, and even architects. However, with flexibility and the right plan, you not only can survive in this economy, you can actually thrive.
Survive and thrive. I like that line. What can a business owner do to make it through a downswing like this one?
Well, there are three things that you really need to do. The first thing you need to do is focus on profitability, not growth.
Okay.
Many small business owners want to just grow, but during this economy, you focus on the bottom line. The second thing is every single expense has to have a matching revenue. For example, one of my clients that runs a tutoring service in Chicago, she doesn't hire a new tutor until she has enough students to fill that tutor's time. And finally, the third thing is we constantly have to look at our overhead, our fixed costs. If we can cut things like rent, we'll be much more profitable in the long run.
Well, great tips. What else do you have?
Well, one of the things we have to focus on is cash. How much cash an owner has at the end of the month will really determine how profitable they're going to be. Last time I checked, you can't pay your employees or your vendors with accounts receivable. What you have to do is you have to make sure that you know how to read a cash flow statement. It's one of the statements that's totally overlooked.
Okay. How specifically can you adjust these things to help your cash flow?
Well, there are three things that help cash flow in a small business. The first one is accounts receivable. How soon are your customers paying you? The second thing is accounts payable. How often are you paying your own bills? And the third is how much inventory do you have on hand?
Now, you've talked about the cash in and the cash out. Let's talk about how inventory plays a role in this.
Well, in a small business, every dollar you have inventory is a dollar you can't use to grow your business. You have to understand how often your inventory turns. In other words, what's the average time a product stays in your inventory? You have to understand the best sellers and the worst sellers. What you need to do is, and what some companies on the internet are doing now is, they're not even taking hold of the inventory, they're actually drop shipping it directly from their vendors, and it saves them an entire cost and saves them cash flow.
There's a well-known phrase, cash is king. Now, some business owners are afraid to take action like cutting costs. Can it be too soon to cut costs now?
You know, Nelson, I've never met a business owner that ever said, I cut costs too soon, even if their revenues weren't down. A lot of owners don't know where they should start. What I say is that you have to use a method called the cringe factor. And what the cringe factor is, what checks do you as the owner cringe when you write them at the end of every month? Which employees, which vendors? If you cringe when you write the check, it means you're not getting the best value from those folks.
Beyond that cringe factor, what are some of the other ways viewers can cut costs?
Well, I think there are four other different ways. One is, can you become a virtual company if you're not a retail? Can you use some of the internet tools on the web to just work collaboratively? The second thing is call all of your service vendors and see if you can lower your costs. I called my telephone vendor. I had minutes I wasn't using, and I cut $50 a month out of my monthly bill. The third one is many folks are going to voice over IP. They're using the internet for their phone service instead of the telephone company. And with that voice over IP, they can sign up for video teleconference services, which will definitely cut your travel costs.
Excellent. Now, many businesses I know are also looking to their marketing budgets to find savings. That seems iffy to me. Do you find that to be true?
Most people, it's a logical place to look is really in marketing. And it's a danger zone because if you don't market, people won't be able to find out about you. Your sales pipeline will dry up. I always say that we actually can't sell anything to anybody. We just need to be there when people are ready to buy. If you don't market, people won't know about you. So what some folks are doing is they're actually cutting traditional forms of marketing and they're moving to social media.
You know, there really are lots of ways to save costs, Barry. So what are your final thoughts for our viewers?
Nelson, as small business owners, we are an incredibly resilient group of folks. Economic cycles come and go. We've been there before and we've survived. We have to learn to celebrate the good times, transition through some more of the difficult times, And then we have to do is we have to let go. We have to take action so we get another chance at success.
Thank you for your insights, Barry. You've provided some excellent advice for how businesses can survive in a business cycle by adapting their business practices. And thank you for viewing this installment of the Wells Fargo Business Insights series. To learn more about how Wells Fargo Business Banking can help you, I'd advise you to visit wellsfargo.com/biz/insight. In the meantime, we wish you continued success.